Hi everyone, this is Susan Itel with SimpleStamping.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that just absolutely loves to share fun, fast, and easy paper crafting tips and tricks for you to recreate some fun items. Today we are going to be making these popper boxes, which I know many of you have made them many times, but sometimes I feel like, you can't see a tutorial too many times. So we're going to do it again. And today I wanted to share with you that you can use different stamp sets rather than just a traditional Valentine stamp set. Today's stamp sets I am using are coming from the Occasions catalog and also the Celebration. For example, this one, as well as, I think I have 4. Yes, I do have 4 from this stamp set, which is called Going Global, which happens to be page 39 in the Occasions catalog. I have to admit, when I first saw this stamp set, I was like, I don't know. But I have to tell you, it has really been one of my go-to stamp sets. So you can see that I have taken 4 of the different sentiments from that stamp set and made it work with some even non-traditional paper. Now, I adore the fact that Stampin' Up! Is continuing to come out with the 6x6 paper squares. They are so easy to make this project that we're going to do today. So again, here's a little bit of a close-up of the one that I used. I used a punch to cut out the circle. That is the 1-inch punch. And then also the Sweethearts punch has been a big lifesaver naturally for Valentine's Day, as well as the itty bitty accents. Now, if you pop over to my blog, which is SimpleStamping.com, I will have all of the measurements and all of the products used to create all of these different poppers. So let's get started. Now, most of us know that the paper stacks they're 6x6 inches, which I just adore. I love this size because it's perfect for card makers. It's also perfect if you want to line envelopes. You all know that I absolutely adore lining my envelopes. But today, when we make the poppers, what I want you to do is just cut off one to 4.5 inches. So you can see that this was the 6 inches and you just cut it down to 4.5 inches. Now, just to make sure that you get your hearts going the right way, we're going to recreate this one. Do you see how the hearts are going the correct way? When you put your paper in your paper trimmer, just make sure that the print that you want is facing this way. So again, it's really not a huge deal. Trust me, I've made several that I messed up on and you really can't tell the difference. But you just want to cut this piece off, and guess what? Next week I'm going to have another video for you showing you what you can do with all of these 1.5 inch by 6 inch strips. So we're going to pull in our Simply Scored. I prefer to use the Simply Scored when I'm making my popper boxes. And remember, your stylus has a fatter end and then a pointier end. When you're using the designer series paper, I recommend you using the thicker end because our paper is a little bit thinner than our regular cardstock. Wouldn't you know, there's the phone. So I recommend using the fatter end. Now you're going to just put your paper into your Simply Scored, and this is so easy. You're just going to score it 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inches, and that is it. How easy was that? Okay, we're going to put that away, and now we're going to bring in our bone folder. I do recommend using a bone folder. It just makes it easier. I think using a bone folder actually on most 3D projects is just, it makes your edges so much crisper. It also makes it just a much more professional, I think, at the end result. Now, here is the key to making a popper. This envelope punch board. This is the best product, I think, and it's also a product that I cannot tell you how often I use. I really feel guilty that it only costs $20, and I use it absolutely all the time for envelopes as well as some 3D projects. Now, This is the easiest way I have found it. I know there's tons of tutorials out there to make poppers, but this is how I do it. Now you can see that I've scored it at the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you've got this little tiny piece. That's okay. We're going to start there. What I want you to do is just to line it up to the 1-inch mark here, and you're just going to punch it. Now this is the key. Just flip your paper. Take it to 1 inch, punch it, flip your paper. Now you're going to fold it down. You following me? It's so easy. Just remember, you always go to 1 inch, flip, 1 inch, and then fold it down. And you're going to do it again. I know this seems kind of boring, but I also feel like I know that I'm a little challenged too if I just don't take it all the way down. Again, 1 inch, and the key is flip. So flip your paper, and then that way you'll never get the wrong. Now you have the last one. It looks kind of strange, but you have the last one, and again, put it at 1 inch, flip, and 1 inch, and we are done with the punch board. So let's get that out of the way, and here's all the little scraps, and I'm going to lay it flat so you can see what it looks like. There you go. That's what it looks like. Now the next thing that you do, there's two adhesives that you could use. You could use the tear and tape, which is absolutely fabulous, but I have to say I am obsessed now with the fast fused. We've had a little love-hate relationship, and we've been loving each other lately. And also the glue dots. Love the glue dots. I don't know why it took me so many years to figure out that they were so special. So all you're going to do is, on that short little piece, you're going to put adhesive down. Oops, I just went right off. You just want to go to the side. And then on these little pieces, you don't have to worry about getting it, adhesive on there. Just add a glue dot, and you're going to be smiling because that is it. So we have our adhesive here. I used fast fuse. You could use the tear and tape if you want, and then just a glue dot on each side. Now you ready to see how this is? All you're going to do is fold it over and then watch, and you are done. How easy is that? So now you have the sides. This is a great way to use up some scraps of ribbon. I went through my ribbon bin, and I was just amazed at how many scraps of ribbon that I had. I would say it really only needs about 5 inches of ribbon to make a knot. And all you're going to do is, I first like to do one edge. So you just pinch it in. Again, remember, this is what it looked like. You just pinch it in. And now let's see if I can do a simple knot on camera. Probably not, but we'll give it a whirl. I like to do one side before I add candy. And speaking of candy, this is really one of the reasons why I started to do these poppers yesterday. With all the snow that we have, and I have this candy around, I knew if I did not get them into poppers, that's it. I would be eating it. So let's fill it. Now I want to show you a couple different ways that you could fill it. Hershey Kisses. I adore dark chocolate. You could throw Hershey Kisses in there. I think 6 fit in here really nicely. It's 4, 5, 6. You could probably get 7. Yeah, that's 7. Actually, 7 will work. Okay. So now we're going to just tie a piece of ribbon on the other side. And then the fun part is decorating them. You can do so many different ways of decorating them. I already showed you that Going Global stamp set that worked absolutely wonderful. I am going to show you now something different, which is from the January Paper Pumpkin. Do you remember this from the January Paper Pumpkin? I made these great hearts, and I utilized the stamp set of Be Mine and Love You. But I have to say there were a couple other ones that were equally as wonderful, and I thought these would be perfect for poppers. So this is what I did. This is so much fun to make. All this is a 2.5 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches long piece of Whisper white paper. I just used the regular Whisper white paper, and then I stamped the Sweet, and it's okay. You can see that they're stained. You want them to be stained. That means that they're a great photopolymer stamp. So staining is okay. It's perfectly okay. What I did I scored this. Now I am going to show you how I scored it because I think it makes a difference. You know when you have belly bands, and basically that's what we're doing, is making a belly band around our popper. When you have a belly band, you don't want it to be super tight. So again, this is what I love about our stamping trimmer. I like to use the measurements over here. Now we're going to go to the 1 inch, and we're going to just take it a little teeny tiny. You can barely see that it's over the 1 inch. And we're going to use the gray, and we're going to score. Now we're going to do the same thing again. Now to make it easier for you to see, I'm going to move it down. And we're going to just take it a little bit over the 1 inch, and we're going to score. We're going to do that again. And again, the reason why we're going just a hair over that 1 inch mark is just so when we wrap it around, it's not going to be so tight. And that's it. So let's bring back this one. I had already stamped the sentiment in it, and you can see the score lines. So we're just going to fold at the score lines. This you really don't need the bone folder for. You can just kind of use your hands. And we're going to only put adhesive here. So I'm going to use the fast fuse, bring it down, just take it straight to the side. Now let's take our popper that we just made, and all we're going to do is wrap that little piece of paper around. And how cute is that? There's 2 more things that we need to do. We need to get our fabulous craft scissors and just cut the ends of these ribbons. Just make them at an angle just so they look a little bit decorative. Love my craft scissors. And now I know that some of you are probably apprehensive to do this, but it's so easy. You could actually do it while this was flat, which would be a lot easier than doing what I'm doing. You can just take a little pen. This is the rose red to kind of match the DSP, and just do a little dot all the way around. Again, if you wanted to, you could easily have just dotted or dashed or do whatever you wanted before we got to that point. So you can see, there you go. It is as easy as that. And again, here are a couple of the different ones I did. This again is using the Going Global, which I love. And look what I did here. I used our new baker's twine. How fun is that? It's fun to use up your scraps. It's also fun to use non-traditional colors. Oops, here's a great example. Remember how I told you the print should go that way? I did it the wrong way, but guess what? It still looks great. So there you go. I hope I've inspired you to grab some DSP, even if it doesn't look like Valentine's, and find some stamps that you have and go to town. Now this one is actually a celebration. The sky is the limit. And I used both You Send Me Soaring and also The Sky is the Limit. Remember that this stamp set is only available until February 15th, and then it's gone. So if you want this stamp set, make sure you get an order in, a qualifying order of $50, and you'll be able to get this stamp set. So that's it. I hope you have a great day. Please do not hesitate to call me or send me an email if you have any questions, and pop over to my blog, as I'll have all of the dimensions and all of the scoop on all of the products that I use to make today's fun project. Have a great day.